Studia Logica since many years organizes logical conferences with aim to attract people, especially young people, but people from many centers as possible, to attract them around logical investigations. And I'm very happy that higher school, National Research University Higher School of Economics here in Moscow, their authorities kindly agreed to organize Studia Logica conference. I would a little bit improve what Elena said. This conference is organized by Higher School of Economics with cooperation with Studia Logica and not otherwise. Higher School of Economics is, of course, main organizer. And I would like to present to you, to tell you few words about Studia Logica. This is a presentation about the journal, about its history, about its status, what we publish, what we do. Studia Logica do much more than publish papers. We, besides the published papers, we organize conferences, we have accompanied book series, and I would like to present you all of this. The cover, I think you can see this cover many times. I thought last year's people not always see the cover of journal, because mainly we download papers and we see our papers and not the journal. Only small characters on the below text show us that the name of a journal. The journal mission. The leading idea of Lvov Warsaw School of Logic, Philosophy and Mathematics was to investigate philosophical problems by means of rigorous methods of mathematics. And Studia Logica is open for any subject which employ formal methods, mathematical methods, especially employ them to solve philosophical problems. I will not read all these subjects. Contemporary logic is full of new ideas. There's many new ideas, and it is still vivid. And this list could be continued. The activities of Studia Logica are decentralized. I'm a managing editor. I'm an editor-in-chief, but in fact, we have 6 editor-in-chiefs, because managing editors act independently. They evaluate papers, accept them, and their decision is final. I don't involve in this. And we, at present, Daniele Mundici, Hiroakira Ono, Richmond Thomason, Konstantin Sinakis, Ide Venema, and Heinrich Wansing. They are managing editors of the journal. An author who submit paper just select editor who handle the paper. If he don't know, he don't select anybody, and then the paper come to me. And I do what I can. Many people work with us as with their advice as associate editors. List of associate editors is here. An important thing is a part of the journal is review section. Review books. Recently we reorganized a bit it, and now a review editor is Tomasz Jarmużek from Toruń, Poland. The problem is that it presents scientometrics, which we know what it is. They score us, they give us the points, and we are employed or not by our authorities because of that points. And scientometrics don't like books reviews and don't give any scores for this. Anyway, it's good to have good reviews. Perhaps situation will change, I don't know. Anyway, from time to time we publish books reviews. The main thing is that all activity of Studia Logica goes via editorial manager. This is a very huge system, very complicated, and I know only a small part of it. I don't know anybody who knows all of this system. Each one knows how reviewers, what reviewers do, and I know how editors work, etc. So papers should be sent to a platform with address listed here. Okay, and we organize, Studia Logica organize conferences. They are called Trends in Logic. Trends in Logic is a full name, is a little bit a competitive name to Studia Logica. It is invented by Ryszard Wójcicki, my teacher and big friend. Trends in Logic is also the name of book series. It will be in the moment. Conference, present conference, of course, we know it is here. Next conference will be in Kiev, in Taras Shevchenko University, Logic and Reasoning, Formal and Informal. And now we have 19 conference. Next year will be 20 conference. First conference was an occasion of 50 years of existence of the journal. It was in 2003, because the journal has been created in 1953. And conferences in general, there are many possibilities, from very narrow conference, like a conference in United States, where we had only 20 participants, till very big audience, like in China, there was about 400 participants on the opening. Then there was 50 or so. 400 of participants. Well, it is just Chinese style to emphasize the importance of an event, I think. Many possible subjects. So the idea of the conference is, if somebody has a, say, very big grant, and after 4 years of working in this grant, we have many results. It's good to organize a conference. It will be small conference. There could be conference much bigger if the subject is more general, like this subject. Here is. Let me skip it. It's just the same thing I already told. Since 2012, volume harder, Studia Logica published annually 6 issues. Each issue is about 230 pages long. We also publish special issue, special issues from time to time. Especially many special issues has been published in 90s and in the beginning of this century. Now we changed the idea, because now we have so many submissions that there is simply no place for special issues. On the other hand, Springer Press asked to publish special issues because for some reason they told me they increase journal impact factor. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it is the truth. So now we don't publish special issues so often. Anyway, from time to time we do. Quite new idea related to special issue is the idea of virtual special issue. This is the Springer idea. They propose to do things which looks like special issue, but not in hard form. We don't have a hard journal, say, with cover and title on the cover. We just select some papers. They could be published in the same time, but they could be also published 10 years ago. And we collect them in the form of list of papers. Here there is example, Simplicity and Belief Revision, virtual special issue edited by Kevin Kelly, where This is papers from a very interesting conference in Pittsburgh. But it is possible to say, in some years somebody published excellent paper, and then after 10 years people found something very interesting there and follow investigations there, and we have a collection of papers. Springer proposed just open access for some limited term for such papers, and this is idea of virtual special issue. It seems to me it is new. I don't know how successful it will be in the future. I must tell that now I don't see many. I don't see many special issues. In 1995 or so, Ryszard Wójcicki founded book series Studia Logica Library. It was a book series in, of course, Springer, published by Springer. That time the name was Studia Logica Library, Trends in Logic. I think, I know, he that time even didn't realize that he invented two things at once. That time we had Trends in Logic, Studia Logica Library, but after many years, this book series, Studia Logica Library, born two new series. One is Outstanding Contributions, run now by Sven Ove Hansson, and second one is Logic in Asia, run by Fenrong Liu. So we have three book series in more general book series, Studia Logica Library. Trends in Logic, this is oldest one, already more or less with the same scope as the scope of Studia Logica journal. Mainly it published monographs, but from time to time the series also published collection of papers, especially if they are some kind of encyclopedic character. Till now there is 49 books in this series. Last one published, perhaps not, well, moment. No, 50. Last one published 2 months ago, very well-known Leo Esakia book. This book was published in 80s in Russian. In Russian, this is Hating Algebra's English version of Leo Esakia. Second sub-series is Outstanding Contributions to Logic. This is quite different idea. This is the idea that we find a very influential idea of a given logician, and publish collection of papers related to this idea. Of course, it is also, in a sense, related to a person. So one can think about it as a book devoted to a person, but we would like to stress that this is about the idea, the contribution, not to the person. Anyway, each book is devoted to some famous logician. Till now we have 18 books in the series. Last one was devoted to Graham Priest and his idea of dialateism and paraconsistentity, but dialateism, paraconsistentity are closely related things. Newest sub-series in logic is Logic in Asia, edited by Fenrong Liu and Hira Ono. There is not as many books in this series, 5, but I think this is just the beginning. So this is the present status of the journal. At the end of my presentation, I will add a little bit about scientometrics, but I don't like scientometrics. Anyway, we have to respect it. So the history of Studia Logica started very, very long ago, from a kind of false start, the false start, but it is a famous false start, very influential one. In 1934, there was Who knows, book or journal? This is a journal or book. If a journal, it consists only on one paper. A paper by Stanisław Jaśkowski on the rules of suppositions in formal logic. This book was published, this is a publishing devoted to logic, and its history is in Polish on the head. Editor, Professor Jan Łukasiewicz. It is by Warsaw University, published by Warsaw University. I don't know if Ajdukiewicz at the time has plans to create a journal. I don't know any documents about it. Jan Woleński told me that yes, he planned, but he didn't have enough papers, perhaps. But also Woleński don't have proof, justification for such a thesis. Anyway, it makes the story of Studia Logica much longer than it is. Then after 1933, there was not following volumes in this series, in this journal. Anyway, the first editor of Studia Logica was Jan Łukasiewicz, and first author was Stanisław Jaśkowski. Then there was a second war. After the war, there were rather hard times, and it was hardly possible to think about a journal devoted to logic. Fortunately, in 1953, Kazimierz Ajdukiewicz founded Studia Logica as a regular journal. So, nearly 20 years after first approach made by Jan Łukasiewicz. I will not tell the whole story. After Jan Łukasiewicz, there was this journal has a long history, and in 60s it started to be, Ryszard Wójcicki started to take care about the journal. He became editor-in-chief, and he headed Studia Logica for 3 decades. And let's few words of chronology, Studia Logica chronology. 1933, Jaśkowski's paper. 1953, 34, Jaśkowski's paper. 1953, Kazimierz Ajdukiewicz found the book, the journal Studia Logica. Editors of journal Studia Logica at that time: Henryk Greniewski, Tadeusz Kotarbiński, Andrzej Mostowski, Roman Suszko, Kazimierz Ajdukiewicz as editor-in-chief. So we see that all those names are famous till now. Perhaps Henryk Greniewski a little bit less, but also his methodological papers are of some importance. Okay. 1963, after Ajdukiewicz dead, editor-in-chief position was taken over by Jerzy Słupecki. And then in 1970 by Klemens Szaniawski. And then in 1978 by Ryszard Wójcicki. A very important change was in 1975 and 1976, when what was that time very hard to do. Journal changed the language. Till 1973, journal was published in Polish with Russian and English summaries. So we published a journal in very inaccessible, not well-known language. And in 1975, there was important change that first journal North Holland became co-publisher, and he sell journals abroad of Poland. This is one abroad of Eastern Europe. In Eastern Europe, it was sold by Ossolineum, second publisher. So it was really very important change for the journal. That time, journal became a really international journal. Then North Holland was replaced by Rydell. Then Rydell became a part of Kluwer. Then Kluwer became a part of Springer. But this is not logical information. This is business information, right? Business information. Who bought who? Not what in for what, but who bought who. Since 2006, I act as Studia Logica editor-in-chief, and I consider this my activity as most important part of all my professional activities. And another, 2010, very important moment. Studia Logica entered Thomson Reuters journal citation report list, master journals. And 2019, the conference here at HSE Moscow. Over the years, Studia Logica has achieved unquestionable position of the most important logic journal available. This success owes much to plethora of logicians, philosophers who closely cooperate with the journal. And Studia Logica I would like to take this opportunity to express gratitude to all who contributed to Studia Logica, who helped in many different ways to achieve this position. And small addition. Small addition is numbers. Impact factor, 5 years impact factor. It is not bad. Springer people phone to me. It is very good, or at least it is not bad in some points. So our impact factor started from being 0.467. Then after 2 years, in 2015, we achieved a maximum. I don't know why. 0.72. It is really a small jump. Then I read it in that way. Sorry. We started here, of course, from 0.3, and we rapidly grow to 0.7. Now it is a little bit less, but anyway, it is quite good journal with many citations. There are many rankings, etc. Of course, for any aims, it is possible to find rankings which confirm your needs. So this is very good ranking from 2015, where Studia Logica is on 4th position. This is ranking of ISI. So important thing. This institution who create master journal list, and we are on 4th position. Although 1st and 2nd position are journals only related to logic, because it is about logical programming. So computer science has always much higher impact factor. And that's it what I would like to present. Let me only stress that I would like to first to invite you, to tell you that your investigations, your logical investigations are welcomed. Second, to thank to anybody who contribute to the journal by submitting papers, by evaluating papers, by giving some advices. Thank you very much.